but I had to get up early to meet Tom Peters at Philly's Italian Market. This is the oldest and largest working outdoor market in the United States. Our first stop, Bruno Brothers, a family-owned cheese and specialty food store since 1939.
Holy cheese.
Hey, Hunter. How are you? See? How are you?
Great. Brought beer?
I brought beer and seeking help. This is Alan Pratt.
Alan.
Hi, how are you?
Hunter, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Zeke?
So I need help.
Okay.
Again. I need assistance in pairing these two beers. I have a beer dinner tonight, and I have two totally different beers, and I want your expertise in pairing them.
Well, you know, I'm really intrigued by this because, you know, as we're on our way over here, saying, you know, we're going to hit a cheese shop and, you know, for some pairings, and you know, my beer and cheese pairings thus far have consisted of a crudité with maybe some cheddar cubes and cauliflower and you know, ranch dip mixed in. So we're on a whole new level here. The first thing I want to ask is, you know, beer and cheese pairing. You know, how do you even approach that? I mean, where do you start?
When I come down here, obviously I already have the beer selected.
Right.
So I use them to help me either complement or contrast with the beer I have. So if I have something really acidic, I might want something creamy to help balance it, or I may want to accentuate the acidity, so they'll give me an acidic cheese. But I really, really rely upon these guys for that help.
So we have here.
So this is the Angel Share Grand Cru. So it's a really mind aged in oak barrels. Mind
if I start?
Oh, please.
Okay.
So you'll get these port qualities out of it, the raisiny character. So Hunter, what do you think of this beer, first of all?
Well, the beer is extraordinary. It seems to have many qualities of a port wine.
Indeed.
And for that reason, I'm going to suggest right off the bat Colston Bassett Stilton, which is
It's my favorite Stilton.
It really is the Stilton. Right. Like the beer, it's very complex. It's far from one note. It's got a little bit of bitterness, but also a little bit of sweetness. It finishes with notes of chocolate. So that's why it works so well with port historically, and I'm sure it'll work with this beer as well.
Good acidity.
A great after-dinner beer and cheese pairing.
That's delicious on its own. Isn't that amazing? All right, so I have one more beer here, Veritas 007, also from Lost Abbey, Tommy Arthur. So this is a incredibly funky beer, really earthy, musty, like wet leather, barnyard. It sounds appetizing, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. Kind of like where I spend most of my... Never mind.
12th grade.
Yeah. Funky definitely comes to mind.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a good funky, though.
It's like licking a wet saddle. Not that I ever have, but...
Yeah, well...
I think for something this tart, we need to do something fatty or something very rich.
Yeah, I think I'm with
You
you.
thinking
what I'm thinking?
Windermere was right at the top of my list.
So tell me about, I've never had Windermere. What is this cheese?
Windermere is styled after a famous French Swiss cheese called Vacherin Mont d'Or.
Oh, yeah.
So soft ripened, washed rind, so it's a little funky itself, and wrapped in spruce bark to kind of hold it all together,
Okay.
and
Wow.
give it a little bit of a kind of woodsy undertone. This is, again, a Jasper Hill product, and they actually have a deal with Garrett Oliver, the brewmaster of Brooklyn. He sends them Brooklyn 1 to drink and wash this cheese in, and they send him this cheese.
Very good deal.
So you'll want to avoid the very end, which, as
Don't
I
eat
said,
the
is
wood.
made of bark.
Spruce bark.
Does bark have a bite?
Oh, very
Get,
very creamy.
No, it is.
If you give it a little smell, you'll get a little bit of a fruity kind of cherry
Yeah,
aromas coming off of it, and it's one of the few cheeses that kind of tastes a little bit like bacon fat on the finish. So you'll get that really nice full fat texture on your tongue, something that can hold up to something that acidic and tangy.
I think that's spot on.
Oh, yeah.
The creaminess and the fattiness of this really helps
Yeah, you're right.
balance
I mean,
out the acidity, the
right.
funkiness.
Yeah, the creaminess, nuttiness, it sort of gets rid of I guess the barnyard.
Which is what I like about the beer. Some people maybe not.
How many cheeses do you have here?
Over 1,000
Wow.
different kinds of cheese.
And how do you
So
keep up with
seasonal
it? I mean,
cheeses.
what's the learning curve for a cheesemonger? How do you amass that kind of knowledge? Do you go to school for it, or you just pick it up on the job training?
Gotta be a
or
little
just-
bit of a nerd, I think.
Cheese nerd?
Cheese nerd, yeah.
Yeah.
So I need cheese for 80 people.
80,
All right.
80 of us.